Hi everyone, it's end of July. I can't believe it's end of July actually. So I've got completed pages video for you. I've got a big stack of book, but the stack is so tall because there are again a few chunky books, not so much that I've done that many pages, although I've done a few. Let's start with Mandala, get them out of the way. I've done 2 more in Jason Hamilton's The Art of Mandala Volume 1, and I really like them both. I've done this one, slightly shimmery in places. Hopefully that's, you can see that. Yeah, really like the colorway. Yeah, like this one very much. And then I've done another one in here, which is this one. And this one, I think I filmed this one, so that might be a short video of how this one is done. Yeah, and I like this one too. Very cool. So I've got 3 mandalas now here. Yeah, so I really like those mandalas. Those are the type of mandalas that kind of speak to me. And then I try to catch up with my Aria veil, which I'm so behind. I'm so immensely behind. Let me just maybe shift the books there, so they don't. Maybe this way would be better, yeah. Okay, so yeah, try to catch up, but I only did 1, and that was a title page. I tried to keep it to limited palette, and for some reason I was into greens and pinks and greens and reds. I mean, you can see from here, it's not the same colors obviously, but there is a theme, people. So yeah, so try to keep it to limited palette. It's mostly, vast majority, it's just markers. I think that's what I'm going to do in this book. Yeah, I'll try to catch up a little bit more next month, but yeah, I only done this one. Okay, and then I had a plan. I had a plan to color in R.J. Hampson's new book, Midnight Mischief, I think it is. You know which one, the last one, the most recent one. So that was the plan. And obviously I ended up not coloring in that book, but coloring into other books by R.J. Hampson, which is absolutely fine because those were also uncolored. So I colored in 2 of his uncolored books, which makes me happy. But this is why I don't make videos of what are my plans for next month, because plan is one thing and it's just never gonna happen. So yeah, so I colored in Steampunk Houses, and I colored this I think it's the first one. I think it's, yeah, that's the first page. Really like it, love the colors again. The markers, because it was bigger areas, was a bit splotchy, you can see, but I mean, you know, if I was a perfectionist, I could try to fix it, but I realized I'm not a perfectionist, and that was absolutely fine. So yeah, I love it even with the slightly splotchy background. So Steampunk Houses, I think that's the first, because I think it's a volume 2 as well, so that's the first one. And I also colored in Christmas Tiny Homes. Yeah, Christmas Tiny Homes. Where is it? Here. And I colored obviously kind of summery Santa for Christmas in July, and again try to keep slightly limited palette, kind of a little bit. Yeah, again, I like it. I think I'll be keeping mostly to markers with maybe a little shading. I don't think there's any shading in here with what you call it, with pencils. No, it's just pretty much markers, I think. Yeah, So I've done this one too. And then I decided that I've got tons of Creative Haven books. I've got tons of Creative Haven and tons of Coloring Heaven. Oh my God, those two are causing me so much trouble together. That is unreal. So yeah, got tons of both basically, and I need to color in them more. So I picked up this one this month, which was Scandinavian Folk Art by Jessica Mazurkiewicz, and I colored this thing. Can you see the theme? Can you see the pink and green as again? This one I shaded a little bit. Not sure if the light is going to pick up, but yeah, it's a bit shaded. But this one, have you noticed it's missing a petal in here? It's got like two in here and there is one in here missing. And again, if I was a perfectionist, I might have drawn that one in, but yeah, no. No, it's fine. It's fine as it is, asymmetrical. It's cool. So yeah, so those were those ones. And I also colored in Fantasy Adventure by Eric Messenger, who's the featured artist for this month in the In Focus series. And I colored Flower Fairy. Where are you, Flower Fairy? That's the ugliest flower fairy that you've seen in your entire life, and I love him. I love him to bits. Ugly as he is. It's so funny. Yeah, we got a lot of shimmer in there. And I decided to do a dark background and kind of moon-ish kind of thing. Because, I don't know, it's just, yeah, I thought it will fit him. So that's a flower fairy, just in case you haven't noticed. If you thought it was something else. So funny. Love him. Fantasy Adventure by Eric Messenger. Excellent books. I've got both of them. And yeah, we'll color in the other one too. And then my zodiac stuff. So I colored in Astro Kawaii by Kevin Teo Art, which is in this compilation book. And I colored Cancer. Here she is with a cranky crab. Again, just markers, pretty much. Well, yeah, just markers. I don't think I used the pencils in here at all. So yeah, color this one. I need to recolor the other three, or at least the areas, because that's where the book starts in here. I think that's the first one. Yeah, Astro Kawaii. So I need to recolor areas and kind of keep it going. Yep, so that was Astro Kawaii. I also picked up this book, which is lovely, Curiously Cute Manga. This is a couple of different artists, I think. Yeah, Dusty and Jolene Yeo at Collateral Damage Studios and Harry Thornton. Love this book. And I colored this one. Again, it's got a lot of shiny gold. Well, not a lot. I got shiny gold. I have to say, I really struggled with pencils because those toadstools, which I decided I'm not going to make them red. I wanted a different color because I wanted this to be red and only this to stand out a little bit. I really struggled with pencils. The paper is very, very smooth. It's got basically very little tooth. So, yeah, so I struggled a bit. And I think that maybe I will use markers going forward. Maybe shade with pencil a little bit. I shaded a tiny bit, but only a little. I'm not sure if it's showing because sometimes the light from the camera and everything, it washes out. I find that in real life the pages looks actually usually a bit less washed out. But yeah, I don't think I will be using pencils in this book. I think I'm going to use predominantly markers and maybe just shade with them, which is fine because you can, because it's single-sided basically. So yeah, I've done this one and I'm moderately happy with it. I think because I struggled so much with pencils, it's not as good as I wanted it to look like, but I'm still happy with it. So yeah, that's Curiously Cute Manga. And then there's Chunky Book. Look at that, look at that. This is some book. So Big Mega Coloring Book by Deborah Miller, and I colored my first page in here. And I colored a pirate for Jamie's hashtag, Enchanting Year of Color. So I think I missed 1 month in that hashtag. I think, no, 2 months. I think I missed 2. But other than those 2, I've done, yeah, I've done the rest. So I did this one and I've done a little bit. Can you see that gold on the edge? I'm hoping you can see that gold on the edges. That's the ink smear, ink smear again, gold ink over the little bit. And yeah, really happy with it. Love the background color. She stands out on that background so much and it's so vibrant. It's unlike me, isn't it? So vibrant. I normally don't do them so colorful, but hey, here she is and I love it to bits. I didn't want to color all the gears and stuff, the steampunky stuff, just in gold, like a gold gel pen. I did bits, but not the whole thing, because I thought it would be just too flat. So I actually kind of colored them to give them a little bit of dimension. Everything else is based with markers. Yeah, markers. And her hair is only markers, and I used the 2 colors to kind of shade a bit. Yeah, love it. All right, so next we've got my Zodiac, Kawaii Zodiac book. So that was one of my 12 books to color, to concentrate on, if you like, or to focus on throughout the year. And this one was uncolored. I think I've got 1 more uncolored or 2 out of 12. So it's not too bad. So this one was uncolored. And I colored, well, this for last month, I colored Cancer. So I color her and I'm so happy with how she turned out. Really, really happy with how she turned out. She's so beautiful. I was so scared of messing her up because she's just so beautiful. So I desperately did not want to mess her up. There is a little bit of shiny watercolor, which happily matches the rest of her hairs really nicely. So I'm really happy that I was able to find that color to match. Yeah, she's so pretty. I really like her. So she's obviously shaded with pencils. It's marker base, but shaded with pencils. Apart from the flowers. Flowers are not, it's just markers. And then I decided that I wanted to try, because there's like sets of 3 for each zodiac sign. So for example, we've got the kind of flower thing. Then you've got the Zandoodly thing. And then you've got a portrait. So I've done the portrait first and then decided to do the other 2. So I've done, and I decided to do it in kind of similar, at least, if not the same color palette. So I've done this. And that was quite fun. I like those flowery things. I don't mind them. But then I decided to do this Zendoodly thing, and oh, I struggle with that one so much. I did not enjoy coloring this, and which is funny because I really, you know, I like mandala. I color a mandala every month, and I really like them. So in theory, I should be okay with things like that, but I'm not. I don't like the Zendoodly animals. So I struggle with this one quite significantly, but I can't have whips, so I wasn't able to. It would stress me out if I have. I don't have any whips. So once I started, I decided I'll finish, but I finished him resentfully, that crap. So towards the end, I just did not care. I was just whichever, you know, gel pen or marker or whatever I happen to grab, I just chuck it in there. So yeah, I've done him, and I think once I've done this one, I've got maybe a little bit better idea how I want to do the others, although it depends how they laid out. Oh, I see. I like portraits, but I don't know. I don't know. Right, yeah, I've got a little idea how I tackle at least some of those ones, which the ones that have like mandala at the back of it, because it's like a crab on top of mandala. And I like mandalas, but I didn't like them. But it's done. It's done. And from an uncolored book, it now has 3 colored pages. So that's a result. And then I picked up one of my Coloring Heaven magazines, because again, I'm not coloring in them near enough, and I do love them. And this one is the Chris Ortega one. Now, I do have both books by Chris Ortega, but I thought I'll do a page in here, and then I'll color in my other books, and I keep this one for when I, you know, grow up as a colorist. Maybe I'll do something different. So I'll color this one by the pond, and I'm so happy with how this turned out. There's a little bit of silver there, and I decided to make it dark night scene, if you like, but do everything else in kind of white or almost white, and keep it in pretty much very limited palette, which, yeah. And I'm particularly happy with her hair. You know, I struggle with hair, but I think this hair is decent. If you know, I wouldn't go as far as say it's great. It's not, but it's decent, and I'm fairly happy with it. And again, I wanted to keep her looking very natural, so I didn't want her lips like very red, because kind of looks like she got some lipstick on it. I did not want that, so I wanted to look pretty natural. Same with eyes and her skin and everything else, and her hair. So I think I'm pretty happy with the result, and I think kind of achieved what I wanted here. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with my first Chris Ortega page. Now I'll do the others in the other book, I think, but I've got page colored in here. Happy with it. And then I went back to my Mythographic Cosmic Spirit, and I did this page, which again, I'm so happy with. I had a thing for green this month. There's a lot of different kinds of green, different shades of green, if you like, but green, lots of green. So yeah, I think his eyes not supposed to be closed, supposed to be open, but like what do you call it, like blind, kind of. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it. With that one eye open, but I colored it over, and I put a little, can you see? I put a little eyelashes on. to suggest that his eyes are closed, because it was freaking me out, those blind eyes. So I decided to do it as his eyes closed. And again, there's like shimmery stuff on the clouds, and obviously the gold on his gold thingies, headdress. And I'm really, really happy with how that page turned out. Very happy with it. So yeah, those were my pages. I don't even know how many. Let's see. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, because there were 2 mandalas in here. 15, pretty much my average for the month, which is, yeah, which is great, or average. Okay, thank you very much for watching. And which one was your favorite? Did you have a favorite? Yeah, it'd be good to hear. And I will see you soon. Bye.